what she talked about. Okay. So, God bless you. We got to know the difference between what qualitative and quantitative is. Qualitative, quantitative. And what I love sometimes about mathematics is the English actually makes sense. Quality versus a quantity. One of them would describe how much, right? Another thing would just describe like almost like a category. So qualitative is not measured. Qualitative would be like your gender, your political party, your eye color, where you live, okay? This is all information that they would gather. They don't want to gather your name. They just want to know certain qualitative information from you. Quantitative with the, think of the word quantity, okay? Think of the word quantity or amount would be something that I can actually measure from you. I can actually say, tell me your age. That's a measurement. That's a number. Tell me your height. Tell me your weight, okay? That's a quantity. So you are going to have to know the difference between a qualitative variable and a quantitative variable. But again, I think it should make sense. Now, from the quantitative, we can actually subdivide that into two different categories. I don't want to say categories, two different mathematical numbers, okay? And she talked about this in that video also. And just make sure everybody's got this written down. You were so fast last year, young lady. All right. So again, think of quantity, how you're measuring a number, an amount. Quantity, you can subdivide that into two different things. You can have what's called a discrete measurement or a continuous measurement. Discrete doesn't have fractions. You can't be like, you know, how many people in your family? And Andrew's like, you know, 5.5. No, Andrew. No, I swear it's like 5.5. That's how I think of Noah. I know, but you know, okay, yeah. You don't measure that. Value can be counted. Number of people in the family, number of players on a football team, okay? Not their jerseys. Their jerseys wouldn't be a quantity that could actually count for me. But that's what we're talking about, discrete. So it doesn't have fractions. Maybe you want to write that, or decimals. Or continuous, for a minute. Continuous means there is an infinite number of values between any two specific values. So if I said, what time is it right now? And you'd be like, it's 9 o'clock. No. 9:02. Okay, no. 9:02 and 15 seconds. No. 9:02 and 15 seconds and, you know, one millionth of a second, whatever. You could keep going. You could actually create decimals and fractions to it. Okay. Time, weight, you can. I know that even when you step on the scale, you're like, no, I weigh the same every day. Well, it actually does, surprisingly enough, change. It's fractional. Height, your height can change or has decimal representation. Okay? Like, my height hasn't changed in a long time. It could, though, as you're growing. Eventually, it'll level off. Will, has your height leveled off?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Hopefully.
Am I mocking you because you're so tall? No, I'm so short. Did I tell you I have a 7'1" brother?
Yeah, I think I heard.
Yeah. Where's a size 20 shoe? How does that make you feel?
Holy cow.
Yeah, no.
I don't even have like a big foot, like size
What is your
11.
foot? Yeah. Size 11?
Yeah.
That's not that, you know.
I'm not big at all.
Oh, good. Edit this out. Just kidding. I don't care. So do you get the difference between the two? Discrete would be like a whole number, whereas continuous would have to be a fractional number, decimal number representation. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. We got this. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is a little bit of math right now. I know, don't get mad at me. It's just a tiny, wait, I'm missing a, nope, I'm not missing a tiny thing. Little bit of math right now you're about to do. Don't worry. Don't freak out. You'll be okay. I believe in you. Okay. These are called boundaries of continuous variables. And we need to know this because we're going to do bar graphs and histograms. And we have to actually, when we make the histogram, we have to make these boundaries, these classes. Okay. So here's the 3 basic rules for the boundaries of a continuous variable. You need to round down at first. You always have to end in a 5. And then you have to go one more place value than the original. Okay, one more place value than the original. I forgot about this. I got to make sure I don't screw you all up right now because I forgot how to do this one. Hold on. Remember you round down. In my old notes here. Never mind, I got it. Write that down. Round down, end in a 5, one more place value than the original, and then we're going to practice some right now. This is the little bit of math that I'm giving to you today. Don't freak out. It's really not that hard. There we go. Okay, so if I wanted to make a boundary for 15 centimeters, okay, and again, this is all preparing you for what we're going to do in the future, but this is like the math part. You're going to round this down. What does 15 round down to? 14. You're going to go one more decimal place than the original value and end in a 5, so 14.5. Then you would make the boundary extend to whatever that number is, 15, but end it in a 5. So you went one more decimal place, ended in a 5, rounded down. Okay, we'll do that again so you can kind of see what I'm going with this because I think you'll pick it up. 86 degrees. What would be the boundary for that one? What do you think? Round down to what? 85. What? 0.5. You got to end in one more decimal. To where? Keep it at 86, but end in a 0.5. Let's do another one. 0.43 seconds. Okay, so 0.43 seconds would fall into what boundary? Well, round it down to what? 0.42, end in a 5. You go one more decimal place than this is. See, this is in the hundredths. You need to be in the thousandths. Then write it like it is, 0.43, and then just end in a 5. All right, try this one. And then I'll do it. And again, this is setting us up for when we do histograms. Surprisingly enough, they need to be put into like these very specific boundaries. Okay, so let's see. Write it like it is, but round it down. So you should have 154.61 and then end in a 5. So I now have 3 decimal places here. I only have 2. Then go to write it just like it is, 154.62, but end it in a 5. That is all the math you're doing today. Yay. I know. It's hard stuff, guys. I'm here for you. I'm really here for you. Welcome to Boundaries. Okay, so again.
Tutoring.
I know, right? You should be the tutor for the stats people. Here's what's sad. If you took stats, no offense, I mean, I am that good. If you took stats without me in college, it's hard because they make it so fast and so quick, but it's really quite easy. So, but it'll be good for you when you go to college. You'll be like, you want me to help you in stats? I'm here for you. All right, levels of measurement. Now, this is probably, I will be honest with you, this is the hardest thing for me to grasp onto, and this is my 3rd year teaching it, and I've done this before. So I've tried to make these tricks for you to remember them. Actually, even before I taught this, I actually had to go over it again. I have to remember my little tricks. So there's 4 levels of measurement. She talked about it in the video: nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. And part of homework tonight is they're going to give you a sentence and you have to describe what the level of measurement is. Is it nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio? So I'm going to try to break it down for you as easy as I can. So that way you can remember these and not be plus you get a note card. You get do you want me to say that again? You get a note card. Or as Keegan says, C note card, right? C note card. That's what I would say. That's good. All right, so let's talk about these. I'm going to break them down for you one by one, and then that's it for today, and then you can start the homework part. Nominal. Nominal, the way I remember it is that word no order, okay? First things first is nominal must be categories. I'm spelling it wrong. Categories, okay? There is no ranking of the categories. It's literally like if I came up to you and I'm like, what's your gender, male or female? Okay, that has no order. There's no ranking there. What's your eye color? It's brown. It's blue, okay? What's your zip code? 08772, I don't know, 28079, whatever. Those do not have an order to them. Wouldn't you agree? Well, the order to the zip code number, no, but it doesn't have like, just because you live in Waxhaw doesn't mean you're better than the Indian Trail people. Am I right? Come on, no, okay. But these just mean no order, nominal, no order. It's a category, okay? Do you watch Netflix, Hulu, or whatever else? Prime. That's it. That's a category. It's just there's no order to it. Got it? Make sense? Cool. Let's go to the next one. What do you think then ordinal would be? Oh, there is brilliance in you. Now, here's the thing. It's still a category, okay? But there's an order to the category. It's a category with an order. And I wrote it here, but you can write it again. A category with order. So meaning, here's some examples. Sizes of t-shirts. If you chose small, wouldn't you agree that would be different than medium, which would be different than large, which would be different than extra large? Those are categories, yes, but there has to be an order there. Small, medium, large, extra large. Winners of a race, first, second, third. Those are categories. You could get first place, you could get second place, you could get third, but there's order there. You're definitely different if you ended up third place as if you did first place. Grades on a test, and by grades I mean like A, B, C, D, E, F. There's order there. Okay. So ordinal, order. And again, both of those two, nominal and ordinal, so here's how you can remember that. They have to be categories. If they are even numbers, don't even really look at them, except if it was like first, second, or third. Okay, if they're numbers, don't even really, they're probably going to fit into interval ratio. Interval ratio is numbers, and they mean something. Okay, so now that we got that, nominal, ordinal, let's go to our next one, which is interval. And this, again, I will say this one's kind of hard for me to remember. I have to always look back at it. Okay, so interval is ordered, differences are meaningful, no natural zero. Ordered, differences are meaningful, there's no natural zero. And I've given you a few here. Let me see what I said here. I wrote equal distance between distances. No natural zero meaning in our temperature, let's talk about that one first. If I said it's negative 30 degrees outside, that doesn't mean we don't have a temperature, right? That's what I'm kind of trying to lead you to. Like, there's a meaningful difference between 98.6 and 99.1, and having a temperature of 0 doesn't mean you have no temperature. You could go below 0, essentially, okay? IQ test, there's a meaningful difference between having a score of 109 and 110 and having a score of 0. It doesn't mean you have no intelligence. Well, I mean, kind of. That's what the book wrote, okay? We'll do some examples. Another one is time. I would put time down.
They did say doesn't mean you have no intelligence. That's a double negative.
That's true. So it means
they don't have it.
He's good. He's good. That's why we got him.
over here. You know?
Okay, so interval ordered, again, we'll do some of these to make more sense. I think the next one actually makes more sense, which is why you can actually figure out what the interval one will be. So IQ test, temperature, time, those are all some examples of interval ratio or interval. And then ratio. Oh yeah, and this is how I remember ratio. Okay. So ratio ends in an O, which really means nothing below. Okay, so it's an interval with a natural zero, meaning that true ratios exist when the same variable is measured on two different members of the population. Again, whatever, that sounds like gobbledygook to me. Meaning a bank account, zero means you have no money. Well, Mrs. Said my bank account had negative 20 now, but zero means you have no money. Okay, age, if you have an age of zero, what does that mean? You don't exist. If you have a height of zero, that means what? Don't exist. Okay, there's nothing below height of zero. Oh no, the doctor measured me today. I'm negative 5'4". No, you're not. Okay, there's nothing below zero. You don't exist. Ratio. Weight, if you had a weight of zero, by the way, Judah, 73.6, y'all, 6 years old. 73.6. The doctor measured him this summer and said, Ms. Seta, he's going to be 6'1". Brad and I are like, because we're both 5'4". 6'1", 250. 250. John Regone was like, he'll be a center. Okay, John. But anyway, I thought that was great. But really, I mean, it's so bad. Judah, he's ginormous. But anyway, if he had a weight of zero, which will never happen, he wouldn't exist. You can't step on the scale and the scale is going to say, hey, Will, you weigh negative 20 pounds. No, it doesn't say that, okay?
I've gotten that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's your examples of nominal and ordinal. Those are categories. Think of like gender, think of your eye color. Those are categories. Then interval ratio, those are your numbers. Ratio you would have really, zero would be your lowest number. You really shouldn't go below it, okay? You really can't go below it. All right, so let's try some out. I think, hold on. And then, oh, darn it. I knew I did this. You're still writing? Okay, hold on. You got it? That's for examples. You can start your homework, and then once you finish your homework, you can start a study guide. Luke, you should be fast. You know how fast I am. You're like, no lady.
Is there supposed to be an odd up there on the board? Even or odd, on the homework?
No. You'll see it. It'll be like interval, ratio, order. I know, you're so sweet.
It is 36 on, it's one word.
It is 30 problems. You guys are crazy.
6 on, it's one word.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Already doing. All right, points scored by a basketball players in a game. Points scored by a basketball players in a game. So let's talk about this right now. Which two is it automatically not? Points scored. Is that a category? No, those are actual numbers, right? Points. So it's going to be interval or ratio. It's going to be I or R. Which one do you think it is then? Points scored by. Can you go below zero in a game? So this would be what letter then? R. This is ratio. Okay. I'm trying to hide these from you, but I think you can see through, but oh well. Time of day. Time of day. Okay. So here's where I don't like time because I don't think we can go backwards in time. This is the only one that kind of, unfortunately, I disagree with, but it is what it is. Okay. Time of day is interval I, because I guess they think right now in science you can go backwards. And did I not put that on here? I did, didn't I, right? Under interval. So again, you have a note card, just know that. That's the one that I think to myself is like, but you can go backwards in time? No, but it's I for that one. That's the only one that I know of. All right, birth city for a sample of students, your birth city. Now, is that a number or is that a category?
It's a number.
Birth city.
No kidding, it's a category.
It's a category, right? Okay. Is it a category that has order to it, your city, the city that you were born in?
No.
Okay, so would it be nominal or would it be ordinal? Nominal. All right, level of agreement on a survey. So level of agreement means I'm satisfied, I'm not satisfied, I'm very satisfied. Okay, is that category or is that a number? It's a category, okay? Is that category have an order to it or not? Does not have an order to it? Well, if it says level, wouldn't you think that that would have an order? Okay, so there you go, that's ordinal. So this is what you would have to do for homework. Am I right, Jonathan? Okay, so homework right now is page 10. You're gonna do 1 through 30. You're gonna see it's really, really quite easy, 1 through 30. And then once you do that, come up and show it to me, and then I will give you the study guide for the quiz. The next class, we will go over the study guide. Make sure you all got it right. Oh, I found my lesson.